right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in NorCal Sports Network. Tough one tonight. Giants go down 2-0. The Hunter Green and the Cincinnati Reds. We'll break it all down for you. Give you my analysis of this game, what needs to happen with Camilo Doval, all of that coming up right after we thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give them a call for all your legal needs. You got a personal injury situation, make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call. 415-613-9483. Don't hesitate. Don't settle without calling Chapman Law Group. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys, a tough one tonight. Giants fight back in the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. A little late rally with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Jung-Hoo Lee comes through with a drive into right center to get a hit, and then Chapman walks, and then Ramos hits one on the nose, but the left fielder comes and makes a diving grab. That thing gets down and maybe gets past him. We got a tie ball game, but the Giants do lose it, and it was, just a tough game. Dodgers did lose tonight to Washington, but the Giants situation was, just rather bleak when you face Hunter Green. They only got 4 hits, 7 Ks. He only walked 1 batter, Hunter Green, and that was Chapman there in the ninth with 2 outs. Otherwise, he was practically flawless. He pitched 8 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 1 base on ball, 7 Ks. Giants never threatened. There was no sense that the Giants were ever going to score except for maybe the bottom of the ninth. Now, this brings me to this point. Let's recap the game real quick. It's a pretty quick recap because there wasn't any action through the first 7. It was an old-fashioned pitcher's duel. It was trading zeros. And by the way, Logan Webb, not only did he pitch terrifically tonight, but he had double digits for the strikeouts tonight. Logan Webb finished with 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no walks, 10 Ks. You could say he was just as brilliant as Green, but his pitch count ran up. He got to 97 pitches through 7. Green entered the ninth with under 90 pitches. So it was more efficient. Giants were going after the first pitch a lot because he's so dominant. The Giants were trying to get that first pitch that was, in the zone for them, and they were attacking. But not to be. Giants fall to 8-2 through the first 10. That's 800 ball. They're not going to do that for the season, so enjoy it. It's a great start to the season, but let's get to the main issue tonight. The main issue was in the top half of the 8th. I'm not sure who I blame more. Do I blame Camilo Doval, or do I blame Bob Melvin for bringing in Camilo Doval in a tough situation? Doval has proven he's not reliable. He walks guys, he hits guys. Unbelievable. First 2 batters he faced, he walks Steer. Next batter, Hurtubise, hit by a pitch. Then Trevino sacrifices him, and then Eric Miller comes in. Now, Eric Miller, you got lefty on lefty. Attack the zone. Stop trying to hit corners and get cute and nibble. You're a lefty with dominating stuff that Shohei Ohtani can't hit. You're facing TJ Friedel. Go after the dude. He's already struck out. How many times had Friedel struck out tonight with Logan Webb? I think it was Webb struck out so many guys. Let me pull Friedel back. Yeah, Friedel had struck out once. Okay, it was Dunn that had struck out 3 times, the second place hitter. So he nibbles and he walks Friedel to load the bases, and then Dunn hits a line shot down the right field line, and that was your ball game. But Doval, I'm sorry, I love the kid, but I feel bad for him, but he's not the guy you want in there in a huge situation. He's got to come in when the team's trailing by 3 or more, or they're up by 4 or more. Okay. He cannot come into situations when the game is on the line. Okay. He's got to either be traded or sent down. The experiment, it's not working. I'm sorry. I thought maybe it could, but he's lost his confidence, and you can see it in the kid's eyes. And, Melvin's got to know that he's not cut out for this situation. Somehow he lost his job last year to Ryan Walker, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's the same. He wants to be a closer. If I can find a taker that's looking for a closer that might be able to maybe rehab him to what he was in 23 and the stuff he had prior to that, maybe you can get him back. But this kid, he's too wild to be in there. You got to throw strikes. You're paid to throw strikes. So I put this loss on Doval, and I think Melvin's got to know better that he can't put him in the 8th inning. You had Rogers. I don't know if Rogers was available, if he pitched. I can't remember from day to day now who had pitched 2 days in a row and who has not. But, you can't put Doval. Plus, you get a runner on base, and Doval is it's like an automatic double with the way he Randy Rodriguez absolutely easily replaces Doval. I think you just have to move Doval up and don't put him into games, like I said, with the Giants having less than a 3-run lead, or they're trailing by more than 3. He just can't be in situations. You're going to have to, if you're going to keep him on the roster, you're going to have to find spots for him that are not going to hurt you. And I'm not just talking about tonight, guys. I'm not one of those knee-jerk reaction guys that when things go bad, that you just, yank him. Guy goes 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Sit his butt down. Don't let him play. Guy gives up a home run. Doesn't look good. Get him out of there. That's not the way I look at sports, okay? You're going to have ups and downs. What I'm talking about is Doval has consistently shown that he's not ready. Last year, he blew many games. He's not throwing strikes. He's letting guys run on him. That's what I'm talking about. It's a whole bag of things with Doval, and it's a package deal. And the package is not good right now. And you've got to make the decision that you're not going to put him in high leverage situations. I personally think that you look to trade a guy like Doval, try and rebuild his value if you can. He looked good earlier in the season, had a couple of save opportunities, but if he's not throwing strikes, it's not good for the Giants. And I just think that they're going to have to find a way around Camilo Doval. I want to hear your comments in the chat about Doval. Trade him, send him down, or put him in low leverage situations. Who says he should be still one of the guys that comes in late in the games in high leverage situations? If you're still believing in that, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Don says, how did Melvin lose the game? Well, Giants weren't going to score off Green, but the Giants should have been able to hold Cincinnati scoreless. Okay. They were 7 innings scoreless. What he did was he brought in Camilo Doval, who has been very shaky so far. We saw it this weekend. He was shaky, and you had how many guys you could have went to in that situation? You had a couple of guys. Look, I don't like to blame the managers. I just think it was questionable to bring in Doval. Yeah. I mean, I just think in a 0-0 game, you're in it, man. You're the home team. You actually have you're the favorite, because in a 0-0 game, you got the last at bat. So I see Kai says low leverage only for Doval. Okay. Tyler was down tonight, which would have been his inning. Tyler has pitched 6-7 games. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Senior. I've been watching it. I saw it was 5-3. I hit the over. Okay. There we go. What's the score? It was 5-3. What do we got now? Up in Sacramento, the A's are playing right now. It's 5-4 Padres. Yes, over. One good thing went right today. I got that bet right. I missed the Houston, Florida game tonight. That was such a toss-up. I don't know if you watched that game. I was watching both the Giants game and the Houston, Florida National Championship. What a ball game. Came down to literally the last second. Houston had the ball, and they went up for a 3-point shot. Guy came out to block it, and he had to do a double take, came down, dropped the ball, and he couldn't touch the ball again. Otherwise, it would have been traveling. So he was waiting for one of his teammates to pick it up, and they couldn't get to it. The clock expired, and Florida is your national champions. I only bet $10 on that. It wasn't a big deal. It was such a pick 'em game. I mean, wow, what a game. It was a 1.5 point spread the whole game. Yeah, the game. So anyway, you Giants you're going to lose games like this, and I'm not going to sit here over the course of 162 games where the Giants are, we already know they're guaranteed to lose 50. Okay, I would say 60, but you never know with 2021. I don't know if they got one of those crazy things in them where they win 100 games. I don't think so. I don't see it. But look, this is one of the weaknesses of the Giants that was exposed against great pitching and in their home ballpark. You're not going to score many runs at Oracle Park. And when you're facing a dominating pitcher, or a dominant, I should say, pitcher like Hunter Green, you're not going to score. And that's okay. Those games happen. You're going to lose games. You're going to lose games like this. And it's the hard part for me in the loss. Again, it's just bringing Doval in. And I understand you didn't have much other situations. Maybe Trevino. But, I don't want to be a second guesser either. So, we don't know all that Melvin has available to him, which guys are, need the rest. And, like I said, Rogers had thrown too much. So I'm not going to, how do I say it? You can't look for a scapegoat all the time. But at the same time, we're getting closer and closer, I believe, to Camilo Doval is working himself out of a job late in high leverage situations. I mean, if anything that was revealed tonight, that's probably it, is that Doval, maybe he can get back there. Maybe, he gets his way back there by earning it through pitching in lower leverage situations. But if I'm managing this team, and I've watched Doval kind of choke up some, he basically gave in the tying run yesterday, right? In the ninth inning. They were up 4-3. Or what was the score yesterday? 4-3? What did they win yesterday? 5-4? Now I'm scores. Yesterday's game, Giants, 5-4. So they were up 4-3. And Doval let in the tying run. You can't do that. And then back-to-back tonight, he walks a guy and hits a guy. That's basically, then he got a sacrificed over. So you can't give up free passes in this game, especially late in the games. So as Aaron says, basically Doval certainly isn't trending upwards. In other words, that's right. So if there's a silver lining maybe that comes out of it, you learn something tonight. You don't pitch Doval in high leverage situations late in a ball game. And that's something you learn, and you learn about your team. But other than that, I think the Giants played really good baseball tonight. They didn't hit the guy, but they didn't hit Webb either. Okay. It was 2 all-star pitchers out there. Literally. 2 all-star pitchers. So you tip your hat to both pitchers, and Giants couldn't get anything going, and they almost still pulled it out. This team is resilient. They're not going to get blown out of a lot of games. David Robertson had a good year last year. He's still a free agent. Exactly, Don. They didn't bunt tonight. You talking about the Giants? Yeah. Hunter Green's he's a stud. Kid was drafted in 2017 out of high school. Southern California. I think he went to like Notre Dame High School in where did Hunter Green go to school? I saw it. Hunter Green. Anybody know where Hunter Green went to? Not that it matters, but I think he's a kid out of the Reds, drafted out of high school. And same year Ramos drafted. So he's a young kid. I'm going to look up his stats real quick. Hunter Green drafted first round, second in the overall draft out of Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame High School, Sherman Oaks, California, 2017. So you figure he was 17 or 18 at the most in 2017. Add 8 years onto that. What is he? 25 or 26 years old? Let's see. Hunter Green is 25, turns 26 on August 6th. Look at that. This guy's a stud. Throwing 100 miles an hour in the ninth inning on his 100th pitch. Yeah. But we'll see. Yeah. But guys, other than, hey, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. That really helps us out. How are we doing on the likes and subscribe so far? Likes. Let's see how we got. All right, we've got. Hold on, let me give me a second to turn this thing on here, my phone, and I'll look and I can tell you. Okay, we've got 19 likes. That's it. But we've got how many people watching? 89 on YouTube and another 43 44 on Twitter. So let's, if you would, go hit that like button. It helps the show get pushed out to more people. We do thank you and appreciate that. So Giants, played good ball. How about the play earlier tonight with Lamont Wade when Webb picked off the runner at first? Wade started to chase him towards second. He couldn't throw. He had to keep his eye on the runner at third because the runner at third, if that runner crosses the plate before the third out is applied, that run counts. And he threw a strike to Patrick Bailey and nailed him by 10 feet at the plate. He was dead to right. But Mark Graves, I put it out on Twitter. Mark Graves was pretty adept at looking. Logan Webb had to get down on his all fours or basically lay down on the grass because that would have hit him right in the noggin. Wouldn't have been pretty. But Webb was alert enough to get down because he was right directly in the path of Webb's Wade's throw. So that was, that was really good, fundamental, sound baseball. Giants did not make any real mental errors. The biggest problem was the what was Doval. That was it. And Eric Miller walked a lefty. You got to go after the lefty. That's a strikeout situation there in the top of the eighth, one out with a runner on second and third, and the score still tied 0-0. You had a chance to get out of that situation after the sacrifice bunt. You got lefty on lefty. Miller's got to go take him out. He struck out Shohei. Shohei can't hit Eric Miller. Eric Miller's nasty. But, some nights you're going to have it. Some nights you're not. Miller didn't have the command. He did come back and strike out the next guy with a nice, was that Lux? I think he got. But yeah, Giants had a chance to get out of that. But tomorrow, another game. Giants need to win tomorrow if they want to keep up the season of winning. They've played 3 series. This is their 4th. They're 3-0. And if they can win this series and get out of town at, what are they, 8-2? If they can get out of town at 10-2, that would be one heck of a start to the season. The beauty about baseball, right? You have a frustrating loss and you come back tomorrow and it's all forgotten about. NFL, man, you have a frustrating, tough loss that goes down to the wire. You got a whole week to deal with it, and you got to deal with the media. They'll deal with the media a little bit tonight. Tomorrow, boom, back at it. And tomorrow, Landon Roop will take the mound, and he will be going up against Nick Lodelo, a lefty. So you'll see the righty lineup tomorrow, which should be Elliot Ramos leading off, playing left field. And batting second will be Adames. Batting third will be, who do they bat third? I guess Jung-Hoo Lee if he stays in there. Batting fourth will be Chapman. Fifth was Schmidt last week at first base. 6, probably Matos in right field. 7, probably Huff catching. 8, or maybe 7 will be, 7 will be Wilmer Flores, your DH. 8 will be Huff. 9 will be Fitzgerald. So probably the only lefty tomorrow will be Jung-Hoo Lee. I don't think they'll give him a day off this early, but you never know. They really wanted to go all righty. They could put Fitzgerald out in center field and move Koss over to second base. But, you go after him tomorrow. This game was a quick game. I mean, what was the total game time about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Let's look at the box score. Game time tonight, my guess was about 2 hours, 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. Game time. 2 hours, 9 minutes right there. Yeah, 2 hours, 9 minutes. Pretty doggone quick. If it wasn't for the last two batters, had he got Lee out, I mean, it might have been 5 minutes earlier. They'd put Matos in center, but Lee ain't sitting. Yeah, Lee's hitting pretty well right now. Jung-Hoo Lee on the season right now is batting 333. 333, went 1 for 4 tonight. Wade's hitting 118. Chapman 257. Ramos 279. Yaz 330. Look, too early to really talk about batting averages. They fluctuate like crazy. All right, they're just going to be all over the board. Until a guy really gets more like 100 at bats, we really can't really get a gauge on somebody. So, but you know, weather's cold all over the country for the most part. I was watching Detroit play the Yankees today, and there was snow flurries, literally snow flurries in the. In fact, I'll show you from my phone. Look at that, snow flurries. See the snow? Yeah, it was coming down pretty good for a half inning or so, and but the weather's rough all over the place, and guys that are not hitting will wake up as the weather warms up. So do the bats. So I'm seeing trade bait for Doval. What else we got? Oh, let's beat the Padres. Hey, you know what? I'm going to turn this game on real quick. Hold on, guys. I'm going to watch the the A's and the Padres, bottom of the ninth. Let me pull it up here. A's, where are we? Come on. D-backs. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong day. Doggone it. 7th. Let me move over here. Okay, here we go. Oh, into the ninth. Doggone it. 5-4. Padres won. That puts the Padres at, what are they, 9-2? What are the Padres? Let me look. I think the Padres are 9-2, Giants 8-2, Dodgers 9-3. So the Dodgers moved to third place. Very good. So the Padres are 9-2, Giants are 8-2. But this is a Robert says, don't lose confidence in Doval. Robert, let me ask you something. What would it take for you to lose confidence in Doval? What would it take? What would it take for you to say something that's anything that's critical of a Giants player? Got to be something. We got to have something, Robert, that you say, all right, if he comes in again and does the same thing, you're just going to keep throwing him out there? I want to know, Robert. In fact, Robert, if you want to come in to the I'm bringing it in for open lines again. There's the link. Yeah, he has electric stuff, Robert, but he has no command of it. He can't find the plate. I mean, for goodness sake, he knocked a dude on the knee right after he walked a guy. That's tough to do, to hit a guy on the knee. That means that ball's good 2 feet off the plate. I mean, guy's in the batter's box and you hit him in his kneecap. All right, guys, the link's out there. Somebody wants to join in, come in quick. We've been going for 30 minutes. We will go a little longer tonight, and then we'll wrap it up. But this was again, a lot of things happen in baseball. I'm not worried about the Giants losing a game. You like to see them win every game, of course, but that's just not going to happen. And we're going to stay in reality here. Let's take a look, guys, real quick, while we're waiting for anybody else that wants to pop in and join. Let's take a look at the scoreboard, shall we, around baseball, and we'll go through this pretty quickly. Yankees lost to the Tigers 6-2. Casey Mize 2-0 with the former number one draft pick in all of baseball, has a .77 ERA after 2 starts. Early, but maybe he's starting to finally reach the potential that found him as the number one draft pick. He beat Carlos Rodon today. Rodon was pitching great, then walked 2 guys. Those walks will kill you. He walked the 8th place hitter, the 9th place hitter, and then the leadoff man came up with a 2-out home run. So Rodon has nobody to blame but himself. You can't walk the 8, 9 hitters. He only gave up like 2 hits, but gave up like 5 runs. Pirates beat the Cardinals. That's 2 teams going nowhere. Dodgers lose again that's 3 out of 4. Lose to the Nationals. After going 8-0, the Dodgers are now 9-3. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 6-2 with the new. Fitz took the loss. Good. I'm glad I didn't pick him up. Barrios. Oh, shoot. Did I not have him in my lineup tonight? Hold on, guys. I got to look at my I got Barrios in one of my fantasy teams, and I don't think I had him in there. Did I do it again? Nope, I had him in there. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Quality start for, there we go. Bingo, dingo. All right. Mets behind Kodai Senga beat the Marlins 2-0. Royals win. They're at 500 now, beat the Twins 4-2. Twins are off to a rough start. Cubs are starting to, the Cubs are hitting the ball, guys. They win 7-0 over the Rangers. D-backs lose again. They're 5-6. Orioles, that's 2 good teams that are fighting, trying to get their season off to a better start. Mariners win after being swept by the Giants, beat the Astros 4-3. Of course, the Giants game. And then the Padres A's just finished up in Sacramento up there at Sutter Health Park. A's fall to 4-7. Padres go to 9-2. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard. So Corey Seager struck out 3 times against Steele. He is off to a slow start. Dang. Yeah, and I got Seager in one of my fantasy leagues. Man, come on, Seager. I need you. Why was Webb pulled, Nick says. 97 pitches, Nick. He was 97 pitches through 7, and maybe he could have stretched him for another 10 pitches or so, but it's so early in the season that, you just kind of call it a night and you'd hand it over to your bullpen. It just didn't work out tonight. Yeah, I mean, if this is 20 years ago, it would have 20 years ago, Webb would have kept pitching. But we're in the land of, we got to baby these guys, right? No. We can't have any. We got to make sure these guys don't go pitch any more than 97 pitches. So I get it. Some of them aren't built that way. You look at Will Bednar, the Giants' number 1 draft pick years ago, been hurt ever since they drafted him. And he pitched, he gave everything he had in the College World Series for Wichita State, I think he was with, whoever he was with, years ago. And I think they won the national title, but he's never been the same. He hasn't been able to stay healthy since then. So I think you just got, that's just where these guys are conditioned. Dan, that's why Doval is his worst enemy. He will find the solution. Well, you can't let him find the solution in the middle of a high leverage game, Robert. You know where he finds the solution? In high leverage games in AAA. If you want to put him in high leverage situations, he's going to have to earn it in AAA. You don't, it's not like, okay, we've got, let's on the job training. You know, you don't put out a trainee in a situation who's on for a ride along with the police officer and say, just go right into the battle. That's how you're going to learn it. Just get in the battle and start, protect yourself, but be ready to, gunshots coming at you. No, you train. And now that he's shown that he's not doing it, look, I believe in Doval. I think Doval has great stuff, potential, but it's up here right now. Baseball's about 90% mental. He's going to have to figure it out, and you can't trust a guy to go out there and do it in a high leverage situation. The next time I throw Doval out there on the mound as a San Francisco Giant, Giants are coasting and they're up 4 or 5 runs. And if he's after 3 batters he's faced and 2 of them are on, he's gone. That's it. Or I let him pitch when the Giants are behind. But I'm not putting him out there when the Giants have a 1 or 2 run lead late in the game, 8th, 9th inning, or when there's tied or they're down a run. And somebody needs to hold the line, right? As Toto once saying, hold the line, right? Hold the line. My Toto fans out there, you guys remember that one? Remember that song, Hold the Line, Toto? Yeah, that's what Doval's got to do. He's got to hold the line. Can't let and look, sometimes guys get hit and they're just, they're grooving stuff. You get behind the batter. Anytime you get behind a batter, 2-0, every pitch, 1-0, advantage hitter. 2-0, big advantage hitter. 3-0, 3-1. Look, you got to get ahead of the guy. And Doval hasn't been able to do that. And that's why he's got to be reassigned to a different role on this team or shipped out. I don't see any other options. All right, we bring in Dallas. Welcome in, Dallas.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's your thoughts as we talk about Camilo Doval?
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, he got off to a really good start, and I was hopeful. I was like, okay, he's back. He's pitching well. And then that last outing, he got into trouble. He started walking guys. People were running on him. They stole 3 bases on him, and he was back to his old self. And then today, after however many innings, what was it, 7 innings? Webb pitched a gem, gave it his all, and then he comes in and just blows it. So it's just not going to work. This team is playing so well right now. Everybody is paddling in the same direction. You can't have one guy that's just, You can't have that. So, Trevino, whoever's going to start taking his spot, and he'll have to come down into the blowout games, 5th inning, mop up duty, whatever, and earn his way back, or go to Sacramento again. I don't know if he has any options left, but
I'm not sure if he does or not. What do you think of? They only have Eric Miller. I said this last night. I kind of like Carson Wisenhunt as a bullpen guy right now because he only has 2 effective pitches. He's working on a 3rd, but you can't be a starter in the major leagues with 2 pitches. You need minimum of 3, minimum. And if you got only 2 pitches, I mean, guys can pretty much get ready for a certain pitch, especially based on, film study, his tendencies and count leverage, all those things. Carson Wisenhunt, I don't think they're going to do anything in the near future, but it might be something in the next couple of months where they look at, hey, we need another lefty out of the bullpen, somebody that can throw strikes. I think Wisenhunt for an inning would be scary with that changeup.
Yeah, and they could do that. I think that they're already doing that with Birdsong, having him be a reliever when they don't. And when you get into that phase where you're just kind of saying, okay, we need this guy, so we're going to have him be a bullpen guy. It's kind of like you're admitting defeat. You're saying, hey, he's not going to be a starter. That's not necessarily the case. He could come back next year and be back in the, try and be a starter again. But if he's successful in the role, then he might be done as a starter. So I don't know. It's a careful thing. If they had any other options, left-handers that they were confident in, I don't think they would do that. But if it comes down to the fact where they need somebody, then that is an option for sure.
Yeah, I wonder what's happening with some of the. We'll have to get with Cody, who's very familiar with the Giants farm system, but I want to look at their actual 40-man roster. Let me just pull it up here. I'm looking at it on my phone. On their 40, they've got Trevor McDonald, I think he's a starter down in SAC. Carson Seymour is a guy that might be able to do it. You've got Keaton Wynn down there. But, you need guys that are more guys like Randy Rodriguez in the back end of the bullpen. You got Rogers, you got Walker, and you got Miller, and you've got Rodriguez. Those are the four guys that, to me, I'm moving. I think Doval has to kind of move up to, that fourth, fifth inning guy that, where if he does something that's not great, you still have time to recover. And I'm moving Rodriguez. I'm putting Rodriguez right now in Doval's slot in the late innings.
Yeah, they've been using him as the fireman coming in to put out, the when the bases are loaded and you're in trouble, he comes in and puts the fire out. But
right.
Today, that was just not the spot for Doval.
Yeah, it's just his inconsistency. That's really it.
When he's good, he's so good. And when he's like tonight, it's just hard to even comprehend.
You know what I want to do is I want to actually take a look at his trade value. Actually, it was pretty high at one point. It was literally in the 30s. His actual surplus value. Let me just log in here, and I'm curious what his value is and what Harrison's was. Harrison's was in the 30s. Last I checked about 2 weeks ago, it was in the lower 20s. And these things are updated about once a week. We'll see what I'm just going to pull up Giants here. I did, by the way, while I'm looking this up, I hear that Bryce Eldridge looks like he is going to be in Double-A, which is kind of where I pegged him to be this year to start.
I think that's smart.
Absolutely.
I really think he should be in Double-A.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush him. If he's in Triple-A and he's just down the road up here in Sacramento, he hits, 3 home runs in a game or something, they're going to be like, "Oh no, get him up here." It's just too tempting.
Exactly.
So
too tempting.
Just give him time, put him down there, let him face that good Double-A pitching.
Yep.
And just get his reps in, and reps in at first too.
Right. Here's the interestingly, this is the Giants' values, and you can see they've actually got Webbs is climbing back up again. He's up at 77 roughly. Eldridge just under 62. Adames 58. Bailey 33. Ramos 27.7. Fitzgerald. Harrison's back is still sitting at 22 like he was a week or two ago. Roop has climbed. Roop is up to 18. He was in single digits. Ryan Walker's up there. Birdsong's is climbing. Look at Doval's. He was in the 30s a year ago.
Yeah.
We
it's
talked
just
about
such a weird situation where when he's good, he's so good, and he's so good you don't want to trade him, you know?
Right.
Because there's
talked
been stretches
about-
where he was an all-star and he was the best closer in the league, and you keep hoping that he'll get back to that point. But then when he's not sharp and inattentive and his head is in the clouds, it's tough to watch.
Interesting that they say his availability is medium. So keep an eye on that. But Doval's 9.6. We'll see if that gets lower over the next week or two and see what, as they update those, what's happening. But I think Doval can be rehabbed if they get to his head enough and get him in situations that builds his confidence. I wouldn't just throw him out to hang, but I just reposition him a little bit. Just reposition him. Don't, where he feels like he's still part of the club and that he could, there's no reason he can't come in and pitch 4, 5, 6, 7 good innings in a row in lower leverage situations and then find himself getting back up to that. I just don't like him in the late innings for the reason that when he gives up a runner on base, that they just steal at will off of him.
Right.
And that's rough.
And
so
it
we'll
throws
see.
him off too. Once he
yeah,
gets,
and it does.
Once there's a guy on, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Did anyone see the new Giants uniforms for tomorrow? I have. Are they which ones are they? Do we know? Are they the black ones, or is it with the purple? And is that the uniform with the funky font, or is that just a smokescreen?
I don't know. I mean, I saw that first. It seemed to be the legit thing, but then I saw another red one that was released, and I don't know.
I saw a blue one with a seagull too. New SF Giants City Connect jerseys. Let's see if there's. Yeah, I just don't know. They've got us. Well, we'll find out tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. Roop will be wearing some kind of jersey.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling there's purple in it because I don't know why Willie Adames has a purple glove, and Kuiper mentioned, well, you'll find out. And Kruk was saying, what's that purple glove about? Is there a meaning? Well, you'll find out shortly. So,
well, he's not going to win a gold glove, so you got to stick with purple.
Yeah. But anyway, Giants do fall tonight to Cincinnati. And, Cincinnati's a scrappy team. They got off to a rough start. They haven't been hitting well. And it looked like tonight they might get shut out again. And so the Reds pull it off. This is where you got to bounce back tomorrow. And, Webb matched Hunter Green inning for inning. He just had a little more pitches because he had more strikeouts.
Yeah. And he got a little into trouble early in the game and got out of it. And then he locked it down after the third inning.
Yeah, exactly. So, overall, though, player of the game, I think you got to go with Logan Webb for the Giants. And probably next up, I'm probably looking at Jung-Hoo Lee. He hit the ball
for sure
on the nose tonight. He got
that ball fooled everybody. Like I was watching the TV, and then I also had on in my earbud, I had the radio on, and Kuip was on the radio side, and line drive, right field, and he catches it.
Yeah.
Off it fooled him.
Off the bat, it looked like it was gone. I thought, oh my gosh, he got it. And it sounded good, but he didn't even get it to the warning track.
No.
It died around 400 feet, but it was a shot. Again, that's probably a home run in most ballparks. I don't know how you feel about it, Dallas. I think it affects getting really good power hitters to come here that are especially from the left side. I think when Eldridge does come up, I think they ought to consider next year. But then again, Giants have really good pitching, and they can win
both
these
teams
games.
Have to play in the same conditions.
Yeah, they can win these.
It is a little frustrating in situations like that where so many home runs go to die. But you can't adjust the style of play and not have to rely on it.
Right. I mean, tonight they don't score, but if you look at the homestand, they've now played 4 games. They won the first game 10-9, and then on what was Saturday's final? I think it was a close one, wasn't it? 4-1. So they only gave up 1 run, scored 4. Yesterday 5-4, and today nothing. So day games are obviously going to be better for scoring runs. Ball's going to carry a little bit better when it's not the damp air. But this kind of ball games you're going to see a lot this year. You're going to see a lot of this 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, 4-3 ball games, especially the night games. Get used to. You're not going to score a ton of runs in the night games. And so
the good news is we're not going to see Hunter Green again the rest of the season.
Yep, that's it. Unless we face him in the playoffs or something. Hopefully not.
That's true.
Don't want to see that kid, man. He's good. He's really good.
In the ninth inning when he's hitting 100 on the gun and just I'm
exactly.
Like, oh, man,
exactly.
This is rough.
Very, very rough. Yes, man. That kid's talented. Hopefully his arm stays healthy.
I was a little critical of them for not trying to get deeper counts, to take some more pitches, to try and extend the at bats. He doesn't throw any balls, so it's hard to do that.
Yeah. Bub Rads has put Doval, Harris, and Schmidt in a trade for Yordan or something. Astros are tanking. Going to take a lot more to get Yordan Alvarez than that, though. Probably take someone like a Matos in there as well. At least they'd want a real hitter back if they're going to give up Yordan. But I don't know how much control Yordan has, but that guy can rake. So, but anyway, overall, Giants are 8-2, guys. There's nothing to really complain about. You can't sit here and say, doggone it, they should be 9-1. Well, if you take that route, they should have lost game 1, though, the season opener. Okay. They were down, 2 runs going into the 9th inning or 3? Whatever they were down, 1, 2 runs. I can't remember what they were down, but they made a great comeback in the 9th, scoring 4 runs in the top of the 9th, game 1 of the season, something like that. The big 3-run homer from Flores. And so things have a way of, evening out. So the Giants.
Yeah. But they kept it close. They kept it competitive.
Yeah. It was
have to try and tie up the series tomorrow.
That ball falls in tonight with Ramos and somehow scoots past. Even if it just
he hit it 107 miles an hour. If he'd hit it 103 miles an hour, different ball game probably.
Yeah, the ball, maybe he traps it. Maybe it bounces off his glove. Chapman's running on the play. If it bounces off his glove and goes 5 feet away from him, Chapman's probably going to get up and come in and score and tie the game. That's baseball, man. At least they've been in every game, and they've won 8 of them.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot. This is this team this year. You're going to see this team. They'll blow out a few teams, a couple games. They'll get blown out a few, but the majority of the time, I would say 80% or more of these games this year are going to be close. So save situations for one team or another. So, which is 3 runs or less, right? So Giants are going to be in it. We'll be back tomorrow night, guys. Same time, roughly, probably a little later. I don't think the game will go 2 hours and 9 minutes, but expect us to come on tomorrow night somewhere in the neighborhood 9:15-ish, right in there. And Dallas, you're welcome to join when I put the link in, and we'll go from there. But everybody, appreciate you being here. Make sure you do hit that like button on the way out. Tell your friends, family about NorCal Sports Network. We're covering the Giants again for our 3rd year in a row, all 162. But I have a feeling this year could be more than 162. We'll see. It's this team. I don't know if they're going to make it. Still very early. We got 152 games to go, but they're going to be there at the end. Whether they make it or not, they're going to be in this thing. Injuries aside, hopefully we don't get the injury bug. But so, yeah, keep your fingers crossed, everyone. So appreciate you being here, guys, and we will see you tomorrow night after Giants baseball. Take care, everybody. Good night, everybody. Go Giants.